Hey, it's MK, and I am scrapping on a ship this morning, and I was inspired by Michele McCants, and I was loving this layout because I thought it was a perfect opportunity to use my scraps that I have been accumulating for the last couple weeks. So I've got all my scraps in this 49 and Market cluster kit envelope. Then I have used 3 different fonts plus some tiny word stickers from Tim Holtz. The first font for my title was from Pebbles. The second one was from Pretty Little Studios, a Christmas font. And then the other one was this thicker set that is called Fitzgerald. So I love mixing my alphabets. I also am going to use the tickets that I created yesterday. I am so super excited to get these on a page. I could not wait, you guys. I just couldn't. And then I'm also going to be using those wax seal clusters that I created. Oh my gosh, I'm so super excited. I also still have the other sets that I made. I have not used those on a layout just yet, so I'm sorry. These are the only ones I was like, oh my gosh, they're perfect for these hammock photos. So I'm also going to be using, sorry, I got super excited, By the Sea from Cartabella. I didn't realize I fast forwarded through those. I apologize about that. But that is going to be my background. Now, I am going to cover up most of this print, but I do enjoy seeing it behind the scenes type of thing. The way that the block work ends up going. Now, I'm not going to do exactly the 3 by 3.5 squares or whatever Michele used. I'm assuming they're 3.5 by 3.5 because of the gaps. I'm not going to be doing that. I like the variety of different sizes. So when I'm going through my scraps, I realize that I have just enough scraps to use this gorgeous blue color to back my photos. So I will be using all the blues. Some of them are from the Simple Stories page kits. Some of them are from the scraps that I had left over from the cruise kit. All the good stuff. Well, then I realized I had these 3-inch pieces, so 3 by 3s, and then this what is that called? This banner piece that was 3 inches wide and then spans across both pages. I thought, oh my gosh, that'll be a cute little element to add to the layout as well. So I'm going to have my photos at 4 by 4, one of them at 4 by 6, some of them at 3 by 4, and then my elements on the page just be a mix of 3 by 4s, 3 by 3s, 4 by 8s, and some other smaller pieces. And I really do like the mix up of the different sizes and whatnot, because then I feel like my photos aren't the only thing that were different sizes. So I really, I said that already. I really like that. The mix of things. So I cut out a whole bunch of this portion of the, I will be cutting out a whole bunch of this for this layout because of the fact that in the middle of it, I changed my mind and the 3 by 3 was too small, and I ended up going with a white that was 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 or 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, and so on and so forth. Whatever fit, it's going to be 1/4 of an inch, so I have an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around all of my pieces. Now, I also had a bunch of larger scraps that were in my stash or in my kit that did not fit in the 49 and Market little piece. So I definitely wanted to end up with the smaller pieces being looked at and used first before I instantly grabbed my larger pieces. So when it comes to scraps, I definitely want to hang on to them until I feel like I'm done either with the album that I'm using the kit for, or I'm done with the kit, and then I will reevaluate all of my scraps. So for every single square, I'm going to go through and I ink the edges and then use my edge distressor to distress the edges. I love this look for anything outdoors, anything tropical, it just really adds texture and dimension to the layout. Also, too, I really felt like it went with the hammocks, and you could get a feel for the texture of the hammocks based off of the texture that's in the cardstock. Now, I did not rough up the edges of my photo mats or the blue photo mat, but I did rough up the edges of the white mat that I opted to do later as an afterthought. Like I said, the squares and the colors were just too small. And so I went and doubled everything up with just a nice white border. And then the inking really does help. Also, too, I forgot what I was going to say. Yay. Oh, it's one of those where you just have a blank. It was on the tip of my tongue. It's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up, putting all my pieces together, and then I will organize all the pieces. Now, this 3x4 Vibes cut apart card, that does end up getting altered as well. And expanded to both pages. I do like the little pop of green on this layout by the pocket cards, and then I have another 3x4 card that's also that color. But as you can see, when I put a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 next to a 3 1/4, they don't fit across the page. They're too they don't give me that gap that I'm looking for. So, in fact, they almost fill the entire page. So I have to come up with a design and an area to where I get enough gap to see this gorgeous wood grain. I mean, if not, then I just might as well go and get a solid piece of cardstock. So here the gap is still too small, and then I thought, oh, I could overlap some of the squares, and then I realized, nope, that changes the whole design of it. I'm not going to do that at all. If I have one 3 1/4 or 4 1/4 with a 3 1/4 and a 3 1/4, then that does fit a lot more. I do realize that maybe some of my pieces are a little bit bigger. I wonder why that is. Maybe it's because my my blue photo mats aren't exactly 4x4. I wonder if that's why my borders look so white. I'm not sure. See, now I don't even remember. So anyways, we are at Coco Cay, and our excursion just got, it didn't just get canceled. We were aware that a portion of our excursion got canceled, and then it wasn't until we were told that you could scuba at your own risk that we made the decision to not go scuba diving. Let's just go exploring. And of course, right around the bend were these super cool hammocks, and it was so fun because it's fun getting in and out of the hammock and kind of giggling at the same time, because you really are thrown off balance by, the hammock looks like it's way up high. And then when you start sitting on it, you're squatting farther down and farther down and farther down, a lot farther than you're expecting. And then, of course, the rocking motion of the hammock. And so it is definitely one of those, if you're not used to it or you've never done it before, it can throw you off balance quite a bit. And Janie and both Janet's and myself had a blast getting in and out of these hammocks. There was a purple one, a light blue one, and then 2 dark blue ones that Janie and Janet ended up sitting on after a while. And we sat there for, I don't know, probably 20 minutes or so. We weren't we weren't very relaxing. It was more for like, let's take a bunch of fun selfies and giggle and laugh and all that stuff, and then, okay, let's go. That sort of thing. I do know that we really loved the photo opportunity and whatnot to get all of these things done. But it was super fun. It really was. I do have to say that Coco Cay for myself was not my favorite island, just because of the fact that it was based around this huge, giant water park. And you could go and explore the water park. You could go and be a part of the water park, but that's not what I enjoy. It's hard to explain, you guys. It really is. It's not what I wanted to do. I really wanted to do the kayaking. I really wanted to do the snorkeling, and I'm not a crowd person. I really tend to get shut down in a crowd, and really nervous, and I just want to go hide in a hole when I'm around a whole bunch of people. And that's what the water park was screaming at me, literally, as you could hear the children and maybe even the adults screaming at the water park, even from here. But yeah, it just seems to be like one of those things that I would not have enjoyed very much based on how many people would have been in and around that park. The water slide looked amazing because it just went straight up in the sky and then you swirled down this huge tower. And I'm not sure if it's one slide or multiple slides. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, it just wasn't my thing, and I'd rather have gone into a smaller group and done something with a smaller group. So yeah, it just wasn't my favorite island because it seemed like that's where they wanted to concentrate everybody to go. And it was a lot of people. Granted, we were there were two boats. There were two boats there, with over 6,000 people per boat, or maybe, no, the other boat was smaller. So that wouldn't have had as many as we had. So, it just, to me, seems like a lot of people concentrated in one huge area. And so Janet and the other Janet and Janie found another island that was crowded but sparse. Does that make sense? So we ended up going over there for lunch, and we walked through this really cool trail and everything, and it didn't have that crowded feel, even though the beach portion of it was very crowded. The food area was not. We got to turn around and watch volleyball. I mean, it was just super, super fun. Also, too, I wanted to take this moment to let you guys know that we are hosting another Scrappin' on a Ship in 2025. It will also be in February. It's 9 months away, you guys. I'm so excited. But this time we are going to a couple Mexican islands and checking out Roatan and Costa Maya. I think it's something Costa Maya. And then, nope, it's not Cozumel. Anyways. Yeah, it is Cozumel. Oh my gosh, it is. And it's just going to be so much fun. It really is. Lots of scrapbooking time because we're actually on the sea for 4 days. And it's just, we've got a whole kit based, planned around the 49N market, anywhere. Everywhere. It's one of the where collections. I think it's everywhere collection. Is what it is based off of. If you guys need a little bit of, that's going to sound like a cool kit, because it really, really is a cool kit. It's a little bit different vibe because of the different locations that we're going to be going on. And so we are super excited. We, being Janet and myself, are super, super excited to get, to do this with you guys and for you guys. We had such a blast in 2024 that it is going to be so amazing. We got a lot of kinks worked out and everything through our first one in 2024, and it would be just amazing if you guys could join us in 2025. There are lots of crafting opportunities, lots of exploration opportunities. The islands are just great if you're not into the excursions. There's lots to walk around and enjoy, little shops, they call them straw markets, to go check out and whatnot. I mean, I had a blast. I really, really did. And there's a lot of helpful people. If you are worried about seasickness, there's lots and lots. There's a whole Facebook group on it to help everyone have a pleasureful cruise. Lots of things to get involved in. There's an escape room. I mean, so many things to do, even if you choose to bring your hubbies along. I don't think any of the hubbies were disappointed at all on this trip, even though some of their wives spent a little bit more extra time in the craft room. Now, I do have to let you guys know that Janet and I are going to do a separate session before we board the boat. To do a lot of this pre-cutting and a lot of the pre-work. We call it prep work or homework. And that will all be done together on Zoom. So that way, when we get there, we can put our projects together instead of spending almost 2 days prepping, right? Or 2 sessions, I should say. All right, you guys, so that is my little layout for today. I did add a title and then another title on the other side. So I've got this view at Coco K, and then on the other side it says better in a hammock. So it's kind of implied that this view at Coco K is better in a hammock. And then I went ahead and added a few little bits to my clusters just to add that blue everywhere within my layout. It's because I really did enjoy bringing in that blue that matches Janie's and Janet's hammocks. So anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really, truly appreciate it. Michele, I loved your layout. It was absolutely perfect for me to dive into some of these scraps and get them used up. It's so awesome, and treat it almost like a pocket page. All right, you guys, don't forget to check out the links down below. I've got the May I Scraplift You playlist, as well as Janet's channel link, because she's scrapping on a ship with me all month long. All right, again, thank you so much, and I will check y'all later. Bye.